Welcome back to our FinTech series. We continue with the company profile snapshot for Scalable Capital, one of the fastest growing WealthTech investment managers in Europe. In this episode, the founders of Scalable Capital talk about their ambitious plans for the future, as well as their vision of key developments in the WealthTech industry.
I would definitely see us in 5 years as a global player, beyond Europe, ideally. I think that's number one, so sort of reach. I think number two is the quality and the comprehensiveness of the service. I think in 5 years we will be able to offer, additional services to our customers, such as social investing options, for example. So being able to tell them exactly, if you did not want to invest into any company that, whatever, is involved with, military equipment or tobacco or alcohol, whatever it is that you don't like, we would be able to do that for you. So we would be able to extract those companies from your portfolio, and we would still be able to tell you exactly how much risk you have, which is something we're not able to do as of yet, which is why we can't offer that service. So I think, extensions to our core investment offering like that, I think giving people even more flexibility, I think that would be great. And I think beyond that, giving them, maybe through account aggregation, for example, giving them a broader picture of their overall wealth. Let's say they would be able to see in our account as well, the current accounts that they maybe have, or an account they have. Like in my case, I'm German, so I have an account in Germany as well. So we would basically be able to give them a complete overview of their wealth. And also ideally, tell them what their overall risk situation is, maybe including their property. So that the investment portfolio they have is not the only portion of their wealth where we can tell them what their risk-reward situation is, but we can give them a more holistic perspective. Tax optimization is another topic that I think is very critical, and we can do that because we give everybody an individual portfolio and not a fund solution. So we could optimize for your personal tax situation. And I think then there might be other people that have maybe even a tax situation where they're liable for taxes in different countries and whatever, so you might want to factor that in. I think that's a huge benefit as well. And then thirdly, I think it's also the B2B side of things. I think within the next couple of years, we're going to see more and more B2B collaborations with bigger existing players who maybe want to plug us in to reach potentially that, which I think is actually a sweet spot of sort of retail investors that are, not a high net worth individual quite yet, but also not a traditional sort of mass market retail investor. So let's say people that sit between 50,000 to invest and 500,000 or even $1 million.
Part of a European legislation called PSD2, Payment Services Directive 2, which means, or its kind of more colloquial term is open banking. So basically it's forcing the banks to provide all of the data that they have on clients to third parties who've been given permission to read that data. In that world, where all of the walls come down and all the banks lose kind of proprietary access to their data, is a really exciting one, I think, for service providers who can integrate into that. Let's see how the technical specifications look and see what we get access to, but this is coming. It's a movement which isn't going away, and for ourselves, what does that excite us about? So, for example, if we can see transactional data and we can see the whole wealth picture of our clients, then we can provide a much better service when it comes to how much you should be investing, what are you investing for, taking money out of bank accounts because you've been paid a bonus and, you should put that into your savings as soon as possible. Or maybe you've made a big purchase and you're actually, you're a little bit low in the cash in your current account, then we can move money back in. So it's about looking into the whole client's holistic life kind of plan and trying to build a service around that, because we're a service-driven business now. It's no longer a product-driven business of old. And I think that's where technology becomes really, really interesting. Where things go gets really interesting. You mentioned biometrics, and I think that's one thing that we do. And if we utilize a lot of the technologies we have. So the iPhone, for example, has biometric features already, so we can use that for identification purposes, either logging in or providing documentation with the camera, and then you can automatically screen that through machine learning algorithms to check for things like fraud. So we're already implementing stuff like that. Where the future is held, I think, is in a couple of areas. One, more general use of artificial intelligence. So being able to help people with their financial planning through very complicated algorithms which are learned independently by machines, and we're really on day one of the use of that technology.
Shortlisted Productions specialise in the production of business video content for corporate clients. Please contact us for a free quote at shortlistedproductions.com.